What challenges understanding cross-linguistic variation? Imagine trying to piece together a puzzle where each piece comes from a different box. That's what studying how languages differ can feel like. Cross-linguistic variation involves differences in sounds, meanings, grammar, and how words are used in context. These differences make understanding languages tricky because no two languages are exactly alike. One big challenge is structural differences. Languages have unique rules for how sentences are built. For example, in English, the typical order is subject-verb-object. But in Japanese, it is subject-object-verb. This means that translating or understanding sentences across languages needs you to switch how you think about sentence structure. Sometimes, similar ideas are expressed in very different ways, which can confuse learners or researchers trying to compare them. Semantic variation is another hurdle. Words that seem similar might not mean the same thing in every language. For example, some languages use special words called numeral classifiers. These words categorize nouns based on their shape or size. In Chinese, you might say one long object instead of just one pen. Other languages don't have these classifiers at all. This makes it hard to find direct translations or understand how concepts are grouped differently across languages. Phonological differences also add complexity. Languages have different sound systems. Some sounds in one language might not exist in another. For instance, the R sound in English is different from the R in French or Japanese. This can cause pronunciation issues and make it harder for learners to understand spoken language. It also affects how speech sounds are perceived and produced. Cultural and contextual influences shape how language is used. Words related to family, colors, or food often vary because they reflected what is important in each culture. For example, some cultures have many words for different types of rice or snow, while others might have just one. These cultural differences mean that direct translation can sometimes miss the full meaning or nuance. Morphological case and agreement are also challenging. Some languages mark grammatical roles with case endings on nouns. For example, in Russian, the word for book changes depending on whether it is the subject or the object. These case markings can interact with how verbs agree with subjects or objects, making sentence analysis more complex. Processing and efficiency principles influence how languages evolve. Some languages favor shorter, simpler structures, while others allow more complexity. Understanding why these choices are made involves looking at how speakers process language in real time. This adds another layer of difficulty because it's not just about rules but about how language is used in daily life. All these factors show that studying cross-linguistic variation isn't just about comparing words or rules. It's about understanding how meaning, structure, and culture all come together differently in each language. When explaining a word's origin or how it's used in a sentence, it's helpful to show how these differences shape language and communication across the world.